What I'd like to talk about briefly now is things that are here in our world, that are waiting for us in our world, that we discover over the course of our lives, that we don't really have any influence on, but that influence us. What I'm talking about are things in nature. The amazing mountains that we see, or the power of the ocean, or the sight of the rainbow, or the sunset. Those things that are part of everybody's life that we all share, and how over the course of our lives certain aspects of it have risen to prominence. We have memories of something spectacular that we saw, some great volcano, or perhaps an earthquake. And not always, these things aren't always pleasant. There is power and fury in our world that gets visited on people. And these can be dynamic experiences that shape families, that shape lives. So what we are talking about then is how nature has enveloped our life, and what experiences we've had through that, and possibly these can be mostly intensely personal experiences, but also nature has a way of influencing families. Some families are seagoing families. Some families are sailors, or some families are horse families. Some families are farm families. Some families love the snow. Some families love the sun. Some families are island families. So these are things that families have as sort of a kind of a connection with their world. And what are those connections? Is there a connection like that in your family? Some families are from a certain city, and that city becomes kind of a mark of their character, of their family. Some families are from a certain part of the country, and they're very proud of that. All these things relate to how we inculcate the aspects of our environment into our lives, and how that creates our character, and how we pass those things on to our children and our grandchildren, and make them aware of what was important to us during our time here. It's also very interesting to think about the things that we have seen and valued in our lives that we want to have preserved for our grandchildren and children, and what that teaches us about our world at large. So also this is a chance for you to also discuss travel experiences you've had, the amazing parts of the world you've been to, and what those experiences have told you about our life here. Not everyone around the world does things the same way. And because of that, we learn from each other. And what lessons have we learned, and what lessons have we passed on? My grandfather he was very fond of a story he told about riding on a train with a business client of his who was from Russia. And he told it again and again, and he couldn't believe how this Russian guy ate a steak without using a knife and fork. And everyone in our family remembers that story. And it was just sort of something that really struck with him. And when I think of my grandfather, that's the story of him that I remember. So those are the kind of things we're talking about. It's travel experiences, and experiences at points of what our world has given us, what we've taken from our world, and what we've seen of our world. And I'll leave you with that thought.